Hey everybody, welcome back to Elysium. This time I wanted to comment on the art for the Ventrue. This is going to consist of 3 videos. I have all 15 Ventrue from first edition, and I've got, I think, 10 different ones from 5th edition, and I wanted to go over and give my thoughts on the art for the Ventrue clan. And the criteria that I'm looking for what constitutes a good Ventrue is a vampire who has an aura of power about them. The Ventrue are the clan of leadership. They're going to be wearing nice business suits. I'm going to look for vampires who seem to have an air of corporate authority. That's sort of the feel that we're looking for with a good Ventrue vampire. And I'm going to try to get through these quickly. There's 15 of them, and I don't want to take too long here. So we're going to start, as usual, with the youngest. First, I wanted to point out the nice border. I can't tell if this is like marble, like a bluish-purple marble, or if it's like a velour fabric, but it's a very nice, austere-looking background for the Ventrue. Now, this picture by Nicola Leonard, Rufina Soledad, I have to say right off the bat that we are not off to a good start. I consider this to be one of the worst pieces of art in the entire history of this game, and it has nothing to do with the style. I don't mind this quasi-cubism style. It's fine. The style is whatever. What I don't like is that this is not a vampire. This is not a Ventrue. This is not a powerful being. This is your next-door neighbor's middle-aged ex-wife who set up a camera tripod in her living room and put on her best sweater vest and took a dating profile picture in front of the nice wallpaper. Okay? This is a normal woman. There's nothing remarkable here. Okay, you guys, close your eyes and imagine you're back in 1994. You've just gotten word that the guy who made Magic the Gathering has created a new card game, and this one's going to be more mature. It's a card game about vampires, and you're all excited, and you're like, yes, I want to try this new vampire card game. It sounds cool. So you go and you buy your first starter deck and you come home and you open it up. And the first thing you want to do is see what your cool new vampires are going to look like. And this is the first picture you see. And your smile slowly disappears. That's about all I have to say about Rufina Soledad. Again, the art style's fine. It's as ordinary can be. Now here we have one by Melissa Benson, Roland Lucerian. I don't have a problem with this guy. The widow's peak and the beard and the little blood-colored jewel on the end of his cane here, these things all give me clues that this is a vampire. Also, his velvety vest. The issue that I have with this picture is that he looks like a Tremere. If this guy were featured among the Tremere vampires, I would have no problem, because it's a good picture. Again, you guys know, I love me some Melissa Benson. She is really good with her artwork in this game. She's a master at conveying vampire without them having to show fangs. Now, this guy could be a little more pale, but, in every respect, I like this guy. Does he have an air of power about him? I guess so, but it's more like a magic power. This guy looks like a magician that might perform in Las Vegas. He has that magician vibe. Am I wrong? I think he does. I think he belongs with the Tremere, but he's a good-looking vampire. I like him. He's fine among the Ventrue. Roland Lucerian. Now we have one by Heather Hudson, Gideon Fontaine. This guy, I really like this one because he's dressed like a Ventrue. He's dressed like a businessman. He's got the pale skin. He does not look like a living, healthy person. He's got this, I mean, it's weird because he looks kind of Weasley. He looks like you could knock him down with one punch, but he also looks like he could be a CEO of a corporation. He looks like he's sitting there smiling, kind of self-assured because he's got the power. I mean, look at that nice cream-colored suit with the silk tie, and he's leaning up against this marble pillar. He's got the long hair. I like that he doesn't look big and tough, and yet he still looks like he could destroy you in other ways. He looks like he's got authority. He's smug because he knows his position. He knows that he's your manager. He's your boss. This is a leader. And it doesn't matter that he's a weakling because he's occupying the position that could see you removed if he felt like it. It kind of reminds me of the prince in Bloodlines, how he was kind of a short little guy, but people kind of had to respect him as the prince. That's this guy. And just well done, well conveyed. It's all there. This guy's very Ventrue, and I love it. I'm here for this picture. Gideon Fontaine looks fantastic. Next, by Dan Smith, we have Cortland Layton. This is a good one. It's an interesting art style. It's not as detailed. Dan Smith has been around forever. This goes back to 1994, just like the Magic cards. And I see a Ventrue here. It's not just that he's wearing a suit. He's standing in front of this stained glass window with a big sunrise on it. That's probably moonlight illuminating it from behind. He's got this fancy glass of presumably blood, and he looks smug, just like the previous vampire. He's got this smug look. Even though he's not big and strong, he still has power over you, and he could dominate you, and you are not a threat to him. You might be physically, but it doesn't matter. That's what I'm looking for with the Ventrue. This right here is what I'm looking for. The power suit, the smugness, the air of leadership. This is definitely a Ventrue. And he belongs right here where he is. Artwork is not my favorite style, but it conveys what it needs to convey. Next, by Steve Casper, we have Violet Prentice. Now, this is an interesting choice for a Ventrue because doesn't she look more like a gangrel? I don't know. Like, the fact that we're looking at her at nighttime tells me, sure, that could be a vampire. She's got this blood red tunic. She's got blood red lips. This is a picture of a woman in medieval times, in my opinion. I don't see the Ventrue here. How old is she? She's only a capacity 4, so she's not super young, but she's no spring chicken. I don't think she goes back to medieval times, though. I'm not sure what the objective was here, because if she were in an expensive dress or a suit, or there are dozens of ways to convey a person of power and authority, and this is not it. This vampire, and I do see a vampire, but I don't see a Ventrue. I see a gangrel, maybe. Let me know in the comments what clan Violet Prentice belongs in. But I don't think it's here. Oh, I think she's holding a rose. That's quaint. Maybe she should be Toreador. I don't know. Love the artwork. I like the hair black as night, lips red as blood, and she's standing outside under the stars. It's nice. I can see the effort put into a sort of gothic look, but I'm struggling to see a Ventrue. I just don't see it. I probably would not play with Violet for that reason. Next, by Sandra Everingham, we have Jazz Wentworth. Now, remember how I said Gideon Fontaine looks like LaCroix? This guy looks more like LaCroix to me from Bloodlines, the video game. Is Jazz a prince? Jazz is not a prince. He's not even a primogen, but I don't know why, because he looks like he should be. I do see a vampire. Because we've got kind of an extreme close-up, you can see these blood red eyes. Well, not blood red. They look kind of bloodshot, and the irises are a dark red. You have to get close to him like we are to notice that something is up with his eyes. But he's clearly nicely dressed. He's got a nice shirt. He's got a little bow tie with a skull in the middle. That is absolute style right there. Yeah, the collared shirt, and he's clearly well groomed. I see a vampire in the eyes, especially. I see a Ventrue. This guy feels powerful to me. This guy feels like he's got authority. This guy looks really good. He looks absolutely at home in a Ventrue deck. This right here is the picture of a Ventrue. Is the art style perfect? I might have gone another way. It may just be the artist, but it's not terrible. Is he pale enough? Yeah, I'd say so. I think he's pale enough. I think that's about the right amount of pale. I don't know what else to say about this picture. This is a Ventrue bullseye. Yeah, well done, Sandra Everingham. The next one is by good old Melissa Benson. We've got Melissa Barton. Is this a self-portrait that Melissa Benson did of herself? I don't know. I don't know what Melissa Benson looks like. But what do I see here? Do I see a vampire? Her skin is a little too healthy looking, but I do see a vampire. Well, maybe I don't. Well, maybe I do. It's hard because she's got those darkened eyes. She's got these nice blue eyes, these crystal blue eyes that match her dress, quite frankly. Stunning. Her hairstyle is kind of pasted down. What I really see here is a woman who is accustomed to privilege. This does not look like a woman who does a lot of work herself. This looks like a woman who is very used to giving orders to the help. This is a very Ventrue-looking vampire. It's not a very vampire-looking vampire, although it kind of is. She's got the high cheekbones. She's got the dark eyeshadow. If that's enough for you, great. That could easily make her a vampire, but she's definitely Ventrue. I mean, look at that plush purple chair she's sitting on. I see decadence. I see a woman who inherited authority and was brought up to fill positions of leadership. That's what I see with Melissa Barton. Well done. I would play with her. She looks extremely Ventrue, in my opinion. Next, by Jeff Menges, Heather Florent, The Opportunist. Kind of a weird art style. I don't see a vampire, and I really don't see a Ventrue either. I see a maid. I see the servant that Melissa Barton here is ordering around. Melissa Barton here does not look like a servant. Heather Florent looks like a servant to me. She looks like Melissa Barton's maid. And that's too bad. The art style is not really bowling me over, although I will say this is the second time that I have absolutely loved the background of a picture. This is a gorgeous Gothic background with those Gothic windows. I don't know why. Is that sunlight that I see in the windows? This is a ghoul that works for a Ventrue. This is not an actual Ventrue vampire. It's supposed to be. Heather Florent is supposed to be a Ventrue. I don't see it. I don't see a vampire. I don't see a Ventrue. It's not as boring as Rufina Soledad, but this is not a vampire that I would play with. Next, by Larry McDougall, we have Lucia Pacciola. No to the Ventrue, yes to the vampire. I see a vampire. It looks like she's got some blood on her chin a little bit. This is a beautiful picture. I like this sort of impressionist style, but I see a gangrel with the choker and what looks like dreadlocks to me. I see a drifter. I see a nomad. I see a woman who is used to wandering the countryside in her automobile where all of her wardrobe is. That's what I see here. Yes to vampire, no to Ventrue. Feel free to let me know what clan you think Lucia Pacciola belongs in. I don't think it's Ventrue, but she looks good. She's very pretty. Wouldn't play with her because she doesn't fit the aesthetic. Next, by Dan Fraser, another oldie, Sir Walter Nash. Don't see a vampire. I see an attempt at a Ventrue. I really don't like this picture. He is a prince. He's the Prince of Chicago. I mean, that's nothing to sneeze at. This guy is supposed to be a big deal. I don't feel like he should be a big deal, okay? I don't like Sir Walter Nash. I don't like that he has a Sir in his name. It sounds like they tried to make him seem like highborn, blue blood. This guy just looks like the Dwight Schrute of the Ventrue. I do not see a vampire. His skin has too much color, and I see a wannabe Ventrue. Okay, this guy, this is the guy that sits in the cubicle next to your manager's office because he thinks that it increases his chances of becoming an assistant manager or an assistant to the man. Like I said, he's the Dwight Schrute of the Ventrue. I don't like him. I don't like his face. I don't like his little cocked eyebrow. I'm not impressed. I don't see authority. I don't see power. I see somebody who thinks that those things should be given to him, despite the fact that he is not qualified to wield them. I do not like Sir Walter Nash. Picture's fine. Little blood red tie. That's about the only vampiric thing he's got, but that's not enough. It's not enough. Would not play with Sir Walter Nash. Next, by Pete Venters, we have Timothy Crowley. No on all counts. I'm looking at a Texas billionaire, which I can see. I can use my imagination to see how the Ventrue might seek out a Texas billionaire because they are men of leadership. They're fast talkers. They are very good at making investments. These are all Ventrue qualities, but you think I'm playing a vampire game because I want a guy in a cowboy hat? You think I want to play a cowboy vampire? Get out of here. This guy does not belong. Like I said, I can imagine the Ventrue seeing a Texas billionaire as an asset. there's just nothing gothic about a cowboy vampire. This one's just not for me. Not for me. It doesn't fit the vibe that I'm hoping for. Next, by Jeff Bridges, we have the Prince of Washington, D.C., Emerson Bridges. I wonder if it's a self-portrait. Now this is one of those moments that I just want to gush, because this is definitely a vampire. I see it in those pale green eyes. He doesn't need to show his fangs for me to feel like this is a vampire. What I see here is an individual who is burdened by responsibilities, both as probably a corporate leader and also the leader of vampires. He looks wearied. He looks very burdened with responsibilities, but he also looks powerful. He looks great. He's got the pale skin. He's got the piercing gaze. And he's also got this air of Ventrue power and authority. This looks like a guy who was born to leadership. He's very good at it. I love his 1990s hairstyle. This is probably my favorite of all the Ventrue. It's a very plain picture. It looks ordinary, but it's got just the right amount of that 1990s Gothic vibe. I love Emerson Bridges. This is a magnificent art piece. Next, by Heather Hudson, we have Natasha Wolfchek. Interesting. I can't really say that I see a vampire, but I definitely see a Ventrue. She is very well dressed. She looks like she comes from the Victorian era. I mean, her hair is all coifed up. And if we look, she is a primogen, and she gets extra stealth on political actions. She has a little more political sway, and I could see that. She doesn't necessarily look gothic. There's no dark angle to her. I do see the smugness. I see the Ventrue smugness about her. The Ventrue air of authority. Ventrue leadership. And it comes through in the art. This is a Ventrue vampire. Absolutely. Absolutely. Natasha Wolfchek. Don't know that I'd play with her, because that hairdo is a little much for me. But that doesn't mean that it is not hitting the mark. Ken Meyer Jr. Helena Casimir. Now this is a great one. There she is, sipping on a cup of blood. I like that it's dribbling out the side of her mouth, because for some reason in film and fiction and all that, for some reason vampires just can't keep the blood in their mouth. It always has to be dribbling down their face. We're looking at her from an interesting angle too. We're looking down at her, and she's sort of looking up at us. She's dressed nice. What I see here is a Ventrue in training, which is probably not accurate, since she's a primogen with a capacity of 9. This is a powerful vampire here. I don't really see the power. I see an aspiring Ventrue. But then again, we're not really getting a really good look at her face. Her face is kind of in the shadow. I'm not sure where that light on her left is coming from. It's probably moonlight or electric lighting. I'm not sure where she is. She's just sitting in a chair looking up at us. And it's a nice picture, definitely a vampire. I would consider playing with her. But the Ventrue undertones are much more subtle with her. Not bad, though. And last but certainly not least, the Ventrue Justicar by Josh Timbrook, Democritus. This is really good. This possibly more so than Emerson Bridges. I see a very powerful vampire. I see a vampire who would not think twice about killing you. This is a vampire who is, first of all, look at the art style. It kind of reminds me of anime. I'm sure we've seen this anime villain before, the powerful corporate overlord who doesn't care about the fluffy animals that are going to be wiped out when he builds his next factory. That's what I see here. That's what I see in Democritus. I do see a Justicar too, by the way. This is definitely a vampire who is very comfortable with casually killing. This is a vampire who owns massive corporations and whose leadership is time-tested. This is the Ventrue. I love this picture, and I love that he is like the number one Ventrue from first edition. The art style is an interesting choice, but it works. It just works. This art style, a photorealistic picture could not convey what this art does. I mean, this is just, he just has this aura of authority about him, this aura of being untouchable. And also with the strong jawline and the square chin, this is a vampire you don't want to wrestle with. He's dangerous in every conceivable way. Just a true Ventrue authority. He is the authority of the Ventrue authorities. Beautiful. Just majestic right there. And that is the 15th of the first edition Ventrue vampires. Let me know in the comments if you agreed or disagreed with any of them. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Thank you for watching.